Welcome to Heart Magic Wisdom. Today's video is about how life reviews are a scam. Life reviews are something that is very common in near-death experience reports. I have watched hundreds of near-death experience reports on YouTube where people tell stories about how they almost died. For example, they were in a car crash or something like this. And then for a while, they were out of their body and somewhere else. And in that place, they met some entities like angels or a light or also maybe relatives. And they had some sort of experience with them. And in the end, they survived and came back. And in these experiences, people are shown things. And one of the things that are shown to them very often, I heard it in a lot of reports on YouTube, is the life review. And in this life review, they can see their entire life again from their own perspective, and also a lot of times from the perspective of the people that they interacted with. And this then influences how they feel about their life. And sometimes they get told that they now have a choice, that they can choose themselves if they want to go back or if they want to stay in the afterlife. And so this is where this idea comes from for me. I watched hundreds of near-death experience reports on YouTube, and I believe that these experiences are real. There are so many people, and most of them don't have a book, they don't have anything to sell, and they tell their life stories in great detail and how this near-death experience fits into their life in a way that makes sense to me and in a way that I don't feel that they are making it up. And now you can still say maybe it's all hallucination, but it's just that there are so many of them. There's like 10,000 of reports on YouTube, and a lot of them have very similar elements in them, like the life review. So I feel like if it was just a hallucination, similar to a dream, then it would be less structured. So anyway, I feel like this is a real phenomenon. And many people also believe that this life review is something that happens also just if we die a normal death. So it's not like a near-death experience where we come back, but it's a normal death, and then we are shown this life review. And many people who believe that it is like this say that the purpose of this is so you can learn. And for example, because many times in these near-death experiences, it is said that you can experience your actions from other people's perspective. And so many people think that, let's say, for example, you hurt somebody, then you can now feel that this hurt doesn't feel good from the other person's perspective. So now you will learn not to hurt people. And also in the near-death experience reports, many people report that this is a good thing because the people that they meet on the other side, so to speak, look like positive beings, and they offer them a choice if they want to go back or not. And you could say that the life review is also just there so they can make a good decision. But now there is an entirely different way to look at this. And this other way is to, instead of looking at this from the perspective that these are helpful beings, is to look at this from the perspective that these are people who don't have your best interest at heart. Because you take a good-hearted being, somebody who has a moral compass, and then you show them how they didn't live up to their own ideal of what the best action would have been, the best behavior. And now they feel like, oh no, there is already so much bad in the world, and I am this good-hearted person. Let me go back and make it right. let me go back and give all my love and energy to this planet, because I see that love is so important, and so it's a no-brainer. And then that's why they do want to go back. But if now this person in this near-death state, in this afterlife state, feels this, that they want to be loved, that they want to help, that they don't want to hurt people and everything like this, then now the question is, why didn't they feel like this before on planet Earth? And the answer to me is because planet Earth is really harsh on us. We come here as innocent children, and then now all kinds of people impose their will on us. You have to do this, you can't do this, you have to sit in school for 8 hours, you have to be nice, you can't do what you want, you have to do what other people want. And now you slowly lose your own inner essence and you adapt more to the world. And now suddenly you are 30 and in a job that you don't like and you lost your inner light. But how did you get there? It was done to you. You were protecting yourself from the pain of the world that is being inflicted on you because it's such a harsh environment that now you armor yourself and you develop these functions in your body that go against yourself so that you can sit in a classroom for 8 hours in a row even though you don't want to. Because otherwise you will get into all sorts of problems, and you have calculated that these problems are even worse than to just stifle your inner light. So now this is how we got here. So isn't it more like you went to a planet that is really harsh and unwelcoming, and now you just had to survive and you had to protect yourself from all the attacks, from all the bad energy, from all the stuff you are being forced into that you don't really want. And you did your best and now you survived, and maybe now, surprise, now you're 30 years old and now you are not the shining light like you were as a child. But this gets somehow left out of the decision-making process. It's more like a snap decision where people say, well, I just really want to give my love unconditionally. And then they say that they do want to go back. And I can imagine that if this life review also exists in a real death where you don't come back, then this is the same situation that will lead people to want to reincarnate again. Because you see, this planet Earth is so fucked up and it needs so much love, and you feel like you love everyone on the other side. So now you just want to go back and give your love. But here is where I think people go wrong, because love isn't the full picture. There is also wisdom. And wisdom sometimes tells you to be strategic about where you give your love. Because there are some people who cannot receive your love at all. And now it's just a situation where you are basically wasting time and energy and nothing is getting better. So how smart is it, for example, if you're a woman and you live with an abusive boyfriend and he hits you and he's mean to you, and you just stay in the relationship and you think, if I just show him that I love him, that I really love him, then he will see that there is no need to hurt me. He will see it will bring out his love and it will work out this way. But what happens most of the times is that it doesn't work out this way. Suddenly it's 20 years later and you're still trying this strategy of just giving love, and the abusive behavior doesn't go away. So I think that we can say that this is a fact, that this can happen. You keep giving love and nothing good comes out of it. It's just a waste of energy. And now to say the problem in one word, I think it's about tolerance. And if we think tolerance is good or bad, and it can go both ways, because you can say, if you're a mother and you have a child who has maybe a lot of anger, then maybe it's good to tolerate the anger and not just put the baby on the street and say, well, this is enough, mister. Now you're on your own because I don't tolerate this behavior. I think everyone would say, yes, you probably need to show this child love and tolerate his anger, and it's just a phase, and then this child will turn out okay. And I also think this. And then, for example, an extreme on the other side would be a serial killer, where you say, we on this society don't tolerate this serial killer. He needs to leave or be put behind bars or something like this. And now the question is, where do you stand on tolerating giving your love to an incarnation on planet Earth, where you have to experience a lot of horrible things, and there is a chance that the love you bring to this planet will have some impact on it getting better. But is it enough? Can planet Earth really receive your love? Or is it more like a black hole where you put more and more love into it and it just absorbs all of it, and still there will be wars and still there will be torture, and it doesn't really improve in the big picture? And I think it's very possible that this is in fact the case, that it's not really worth it to come here, to either come back from a near-death experience or to come back in terms of reincarnation. And I feel like you have to think this through and make up your mind, because this planet Earth is a very heavy energy type of planet. And as soon as you are out of body, or maybe you did some drugs or you did some holotropic breath work and you felt how it feels if it is much lighter, then you know that you feel so much love. You love everybody. You want to tell everybody how much they mean to you. You just want to give. You are so thankful. You are overwhelmed with positive emotions. And if you just came from here and you get put in this state that is much lighter, then your first instinct is to say, yes, 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 I want to give love. Let me give love. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. I'm all about the love. Go back, reincarnate and give my love. Sure, I want to do it. But I feel like you should wait and let this settle and really think it through. Is this the best use of your time and energy and love? Because what you will get is a lot of suffering. And now the question is it worth it? Does it really help pull out the world, planet Earth, from its darkness? Or is it that this strategy just doesn't seem to work and you are suffering for pretty much nothing? And you could maybe, for example, incarnate somewhere on a very harmonious planet or do something else in the astral world or whatever and have good emotions, feel good, give love, receive love, and stay away from planet Earth, because maybe it's just not worth it. Maybe it just doesn't work. Maybe it's just a flawed strategy. Giving more love won't make it better. Giving more love won't fix the situation. This is how I feel about this. This is what I think everybody should think through for themselves before they land in this situation where they are asked to make a decision. Think it through for yourself. This life, this universe is a multifaceted game. It's not about primitive love always. Primitive love is the foundation. You just love everything. But then it's also about advanced love, which is strategic love. And strategic love doesn't exhaust itself for no reason, because it also loves itself, and it doesn't just love the thing outside of itself. And yes, I know if you're enlightened, then everything is the self, but I hope you know what I mean. Alright, this was long enough, so I hope I got the message across and that this makes sense to you. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you think, and see you soon.